What's going on, guys? It's William, real estate investor for passive income, and I want you to be a smart investor. Today we're going to go over the pros and cons of a tiny house. Would you consider one? Do you happen to live in one? Well, if you've been thinking about how is it to live in a tiny house, let's go over the pros and cons. Let's get into it. So, the first pro is you save money on electricity, utility bills in general, because, well, the house is this big. And, well, that's all good. Some owners are even using solar panels in tiny homes to power their entire house. Number two, if you don't like where you live, well, you can hook up and move the same day. And number three, you will have a little bit more money because, well, you're not tied down to things like property taxes. That's right. Property taxes do not have to be paid on your tiny house if you are not fixed to the land. Check your local county assessor for details. And since you don't have high utility bills, you'll have more money for, well, things for you to enjoy. Another part of giving more time back to you is you can clean this house in no time flat, therefore giving you more time back. Because think about it, how much time do you actually spend cleaning your house every week? And if it's zero, you should be cleaning your house every week, by the way. My favorite one is you don't have a bunch of useless stuff tying you down. Think about it, majority of garages that I see open when you drive by, what are they filled with? A bunch of junk. It's a 2-car garage. You might be able to fit 1 car. Heck, some of them can't fit another box. You get what I'm saying? If they got rid of all that, how much better would their life be? Would their life even change? How many times have you gone in the attic and go, I forgot about all this stuff, holy cow. It's because you don't need it. Aside from pictures and memorabilia, a lot of the stuff is just tying you down. You don't even realize it, but it is. And another huge perk to tiny home living is it costs between $8,000 for the most simple basic one, all the way up to an extreme luxury tiny home at $150,000. Cons. Now, this is the biggest one. I'm a real estate investor. When I look at a property, I'm always looking at it as an investment, as a what's it gonna be worth in the future, or what's it gonna be worth on the month-to-month cash flow basis. And tiny homes have a huge con because they are what they call a depreciating asset. And that is the #1 biggest killer, in my opinion, for owning a tiny home. Also, if you have a spouse, you don't have a lot of room. You have 1 tiny bathroom. If you guys get in an argument, you can't really go anywhere except for, well, outside. Hopefully it's nice out. And clutter can definitely become an issue when you're living in a few hundred square feet and you have 2 grown people. Also keep in mind, if you're looking for a place to study or tinker with something, a tiny house may not be the best solution because, well, it'll probably be your kitchen table. And obviously you use the kitchen table every day for meals because there's not a whole lot of other options. So basically the table is I eat here, I do my homework here, I do my arts and crafts here, I have my business meetings here. It's your everything table, and it's about 3 times the size of my laptop. And one of the cons I read online, and I personally don't own a tiny home, but they're saying it's very hard to find a place in order to park it if you don't own the land, you're not planning on parking on your own property, because you're gonna have to go to like an RV park, or you're gonna have to go to somewhere that's going to allow you to stay there possibly long term if that's your plan. For instance, we bought an RV a couple years ago and we did 10 states in 10 days. I did not realize that it actually is cheaper if you're traveling this much. It's actually cheaper to go from hotel to hotel than it is to drag this heavy RV literally to almost Canada and all the way back to Texas. It was literally cheaper to get hotel to hotel to hotel versus traveling as much as we did. And what I didn't realize at the time was every single stop I made typically cost me about $40 a night just so I can hook up to their water and electricity. And because of the size, you can't do a lot of shopping. So if you're gonna be moving a lot, you won't be doing a lot of shopping because you don't have the space, and No more Amazon. I know that hurts a lot of people's feelings, but some people don't think about this. If you're gonna be moving, you're not gonna have an address. And that's it for this quick breakdown on the pros and cons of a tiny house. I know you guys have opinions. Let me know in the comments below. Could you live in a tiny house yourself? Do you live in a tiny house yourself? And my name is William Dauria. Thanks for watching, guys.